Hey everyone, I am beyond excited for a number of reasons today. One, because I have a guest who I didn't get to speak with previously when this show was in production. So that's the first reason I'm excited today. The second reason I am thrilled today and excited is because I haven't recorded and produced this show in a couple of years, and I am really happy to be back talking to chiropractors about ways we can live healthy, vibrant lives, as well as grow our practices and have an impact with lots of people. So it's great to be back, and I'm really, Dr. Sebastian Bonnin, welcome to the show. We are going to
Thank
kick it
you.
off today in style.
Yes, 100%. So you have I'm the first one after all these years.
You are the
Oh,
first interview.
oh my God, I didn't know that. That's amazing. I love it. I feel blessed.
Well, something that we were discussing in our pre-chat was both of us having an excitement for chiropractic and a fire and a passion. And I know I can't speak for you. For me, it's been fairly alive the whole time I've been in practice, but there's certainly been ebbs and flows when things have happened in my life. But let's talk about you being on fire as a chiropractor right now, in your almost 24th year of practice. Give us sort of I guess, a nutshell to get started for the docs who don't know you. What is your practice like? What are you up to these days? Like, who is Dr. Sebastian Bonnin?
Well, I'm just chiropractor, just like you, who loves chiropractic and who is very clear on God's purpose and mission for myself. And apparently it's through chiropractic that it's best expressed. So I started my own practice in 2001, and it got to the point where I was having my best year until 2017. Hurricane Maria hit Puerto Rico, and then it was in less than 24 hours. I went from averaging, I don't know, 100, almost 120K a month to zero in less than 24 hours. And that's all right. I had a peace of mind fund, or what a lot of people call rainy day fund. I like to call the peace of mind fund. And you prepare for 3 months. I actually was prepared for 6 months, but not for 18 months.
Hmm.
You don't prepare for that type of destruction. I mean, it's like,
Did you completely lose your practice and everything?
well, no, physically, like the building, nothing happened physically wise. It was just that I've never practiced on a catastrophe economy. So Life University recognized me as one of the chiropractors responsible for developing chiropractic in Hispanic speaking countries, especially in Argentina and Brazil. So, uh, you know, just coaching them and teaching them, it was pretty much charity because they couldn't afford it. They couldn't afford it, but they really needed it. Now they're just coaching themselves and they got a great thing going there. So I'm super proud of them. So, you know, I know what it's like to do chiropractic in a hyperinflation economy, Argentina, in a, growing third world economy, Brazil, in a booming economy, Spain, in a very flat and, against the dollar, really bad, Mexico economy, so in a bankrupt economy, Puerto Rico. I have $1 million cash practice there. So I know how I just knew. It was like, oh, I got this. Like, and my worst times were my best times. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. But not in a catastrophe economy. In a catastrophe economy, it's food, water, shelter, and diesel. Those are the only four things that people, care about. They don't care about health. I was having people
Bible.
come to me and say,
Yeah.
Doc, I just prepaid the care. I need the money back because I need to fix my roof. Yeah, absolutely. So I had like, I don't know, I don't think we got to 20, but it was close to 20, 18, 19 or people that came to ask for the money back. And I'm like, absolutely, here you go. Yep, here it is. Yep, no questions asked. It's like, yep, no, not trying to turn it around or anything. And it was quite clear to me that there was something that this was something different. It was something different. See, you gotta just imagine going into a flower shop and every flower. Do you remember the last time you went to a flower shop? Yeah. I mean, you feel so good just being there. Every flower is like hyper alive. There's so much color, so much just beautiful energy, the smell, just everything about a flower shop works, at least for me. I love it.
There's vitality there. You can feel it.
Yes. And they're flowers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what happens is that everything in my environment was dead, broken, like a dead flower. So just imagine walking the same flower shop, but every flower is dead. And every flower is brown. I don't marchitada. I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
In Spanish. So there's this indirect, subconscious feedback you're getting from your environment constantly. Beautiful, huge trees, down, dead. Remember, do you saw the movie Avatar?
Yeah.
Do you remember when you saw the movie for the first time? You remember the time the bad guys are attacking the tree, they're exploding it, and they finally took the tree of life and they turn it down? Do you remember how you felt viscerally, how that they did such a great job? I was like, oh, right? So it's just like that. Just like that. It felt really, it was hardcore. It was super hardcore. All these years since 2001 to 2017, waking up early, just being very aware of my state and the way I showed up to my day, doing my morning rituals and gratitude, journals, just like all this work lasted a week. It got consumed in a week, and I wasn't aware of it. Because I was so part of that environment, I just couldn't. And I was like, I'm listening to the radio and watching the TV, and I'm like, wait, how can I help? But that question came after: is my family safe? Are we already stable? Those were the first 2 weeks, and I'm thinking, oh, it's all right. People are gonna come back. They all prepaid. They don't have to dig into their pockets. No, nobody was coming in. So from 120K the first month, we did 5K. Congratulations. Second month, we doubled the practice, 10K. Woo! With an overhead of 60 grand at least. 7 families depended from that. I went to my team. I said, listen, I can't pay you. I can't pay you. But if you stick with me, I'll remember. And they all stuck with me. I didn't lose one team member. But I remember going to bed angry one day. 3 months have passed. I have no money left on my savings account. And I am angry. I'm going to bed angry, and that's not like me. Those 2 moments before you go to bed and when you wake up, those are like key moments of my day where I really very aware of how I'm finishing and starting my day. I was going angry, and I catch myself. I remember I was talking to someone. I said to that person, hey, I'm going to allow myself to go on a rant for 5 more minutes. So just hear me out for 5 more minutes, and then that's it. That's the last time I'm going to talk about all the bullshit I'm going through right now. That's the last time I'm going to give fire to my pity party. And tomorrow, everything is going to change. So I went 5 minutes by the clock, blah, 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 boom, done 5 minutes. All right, that's it. I'm not gonna talk about how shitty it is, how bad it is, how we're gonna, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but tomorrow everything changes. Went to bed. Woke up, I didn't have a dream. I'm like, ah, shit. All right, come on, Innate, come on, all right, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna meditate. Meditated 20, 30 minutes, nothing came in. I'm like, oh, just tell me, what do you need me to do today? And as I'm going in my bicycle to the office, because it's 8 hours for gasoline. And even though I know the owners of the gas station, that they told me you don't have to make a line, there's like at least 30 people in that line that know me.
Right.
So I'm not gonna go like, hey, and then get my gas and then leave, because I can't do that. It's like I can't do that, and I don't have 8 hours to be on a line. So 8 hours in the bank to get cash out of the bank. So so as I'm going in the bike on my shorts, sweating, I arrive to the office, and then it dawned on me. It's like, what is the least thing you want to do, you like to do? And I said, spinal screenings. That's what I said. I'm so good at them, but I really don't like to do them. Once I get to do them, I enjoy them so much. But getting myself to it, it's like, man, can I just do something else? I don't want to do it. And that's exactly my cue to do it. So that with years, I've known that that's the cue. Whenever I feel like not doing it, that's the cue that you got to do it. Seminars, trips, conversations, spinal screenings. So I'm like, where am I going to do a spinal screening? And then the answers were coming right there. It's like, go to Coles supermarket, because where were the people? Gas stations, supermarkets, right? Food. So I'm like, oh my gosh, no. I don't like the word celebrity, but that's what people consider me here in Puerto Rico, because I'm a lot in TV, newspaper, and everything, everywhere. So, I'm like, all right. So I go to Coles supermarket, and I said to him, hey man, listen, can I just do a spinal screening here? I'm going to basically offer all your clients, as a benefit of being your client, an evaluation in my office for $40 instead of $395. He's like, oh, absolutely. Do you need a table? I'm like, yeah. How many chairs do you need? One. Do you want me to advertise it on the monitors? And I'm like, yes. Like, all of a sudden, boom, 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 everything came together. And then I needed to, like, get, creative. And I'm like, all right. So as I was handing the card to everyone that came in, I was saying, welcome to Coles supermarket. The soup of the day is the lentil soup. And the special of the day is the chiropractic evaluation in my office. I'm Dr. Sebastian. I'm going to be here if you're interested in getting your spinal system evaluated. And I'll be here. And they're like, oh, yeah, okay. And then you will be like, aren't you the guy from TV, And then my cousin, what are you doing here? Like they don't. So it was a very humbling experience. And we signed up 10 people that day. And that day, everything changed. That was the day when everything changed. And it took me 18 months to get to where we were in terms of income. But in those 18 months, which were the worst possible times of my life, I went from one office to 3 offices. That's when I scaled, when I actually got to live my life vision. So talking about how turning your worst times into the best times, I thought that only happened to like Tony Robbins and Brandon Burchard and all these people. I was like, man, that's amazing. And it was all grace. So I cannot take the credit, because it's never about me. And every time I've put God on the side mirror, or worse, behind, it's like it feels I'm so alone. It feels that I'm doing everything and nothing is happening. Oh, that's because you put God in the backseat on your life. So it's now. So what it is now, I have 4 offices now. I just opened up the 4th office, the second one here in Puerto Rico. I'm from Puerto Rico. I live here, grown up here. And this is and my mission here is to literally transform healthcare here in Puerto Rico. I truly think we can do that here in Puerto Rico. It's an island, so the message doesn't get diluted. It just gets to the coast, bounces back, get to the coast, bounces back, get to bounces back. So there's this marketing phenomenon that occurs here in Puerto Rico, like Toyota, PF Chang's, Walmart, Borders. They have like the PF Chang's that most sold when they opened up here. Toyota sells, I don't know, but per square feet, or I don't know how they measure it. It's like the most they sell in like this. It's an island. How many cars can you fit here? You know what I'm saying? So it's pretty impressive. So I think in healthcare we have that. Not only that the profession can't explain why Puerto Ricans are the most abundant population of students. Like our student recruitment events, just for recruiting, maybe 10, 15, we were 300, 320 students in our dinners. It was ridiculous. So 10% of Life University student population is Puerto Ricans.
Incredible.
And why? Why is it? Well, because I truly think God knows we have the ability and we need a lot of chiropractors here. And there's half of the profession here in Puerto Rico that says, oh my God, we're screwed, we're going to die because all these chiropractors and we're going to run out of new patients. I'm like, oh my God, we're so blessed. I cannot wait to see all these chiropractors. That's exactly what we need. And that's exactly what's going to help chiropractic. Everyone see more people and have more fun. So, yeah, so I just opened the second office in Santurce, and that's another episode we can talk about because that's amazing. That's just been crazy interesting, not to say hard and dynamic and incredible and frustrating and joyful, like all the emotions to the extreme, so hardcore. Like that's that's another episode. But
well, you can come back anytime because I feel like we haven't even scratched the surface yet. But thank you for painting that picture for us around what life was like after a natural destruction like that. Certainly docs have lost, there's had fires, they've had natural events. Some people are just having their own personal crisis that affects their practice. So thank you for giving us that. There's a couple of things that you said. I mean, you have a great sense of humor, clearly, in your ability to roll through some of that. But I think it's interesting that for yourself that when you get an insight, whether it's just a message you get, whatever, and you're resistant to it, that's your cue to act. A lot of people would think it would be the opposite. Oh no, that's not right. And I think that's really interesting. When you think about how your practice went from that day changing at the grocery store, what would you distill it down to? Like, was it just something inside you? Was that changing factor that in the next 18 months, you just grew into 3 more practices? Because clearly you already know how to market yourself. You're already a media personality. You already have communication skills. You probably had this team and the systems. Those things sound like they were already in place. So what was the turning point? Why would you say that everything changed?
Because I've never said to anyone, no, I can't go because I can't afford it. Never said that. And then for the first time in my life, I was being invited to a UAC event, Ultimate Achievers Club, Steven Franson.
Yeah.
Steven. I met Steven 6 months before all that happened. Before all that happened. And it was because we shared a stage. I don't remember where we share a stage, but I was talking from stage about, surfing, and he surfs, and chiropractic and all this, and he's like, wait, you surf, we need to talk, so we've been connected ever since. So he was helping me start scaling my practice.
Okay.
And then that vision came to a halt because of the hurricane. Like that completely vanished. Like, I'm not thinking about that. But here's what happened. That's exactly what needed to happen, because if not, I would not have gone to that seminar that he invited me. I said to him, bro, listen, I cannot go. I want to go. I can't go because I really have to measure every penny I, invest or, spend. So I can't. I want to go, but I can't. It's like, listen, pay your air, and I got you. I'll pay hotel, and I'll get your meals. Just get your air, get your butt there. And I'm like, bro, listen, don't do this to me. It's like, I don't want to hear it. So I'm like, okay.
There's that resistance again coming in, right?
Yeah,
You're giving a
yeah,
gift and someone and you're
100%.
like, no, I don't want it.
And that was hard because there was facts. The facts were there. The facts were there. None of it was opinion. The facts were there. Why I should not go on this trip. My team needs me here in Puerto Rico. So I went, and that's where I met key relationships. That one thing led to the next, and that's how, hey, there's this office that you have an opportunity to invest in and be a partner. Are you in? I'm like, yeah, 100%. So then I start just saying yes to all these opportunities that were coming my way, that were aligned with my vision. That's how I knew also that they were great opportunities. So now, yeah, so now it's that. And also, so after that experience, Steven asked me to coach with him. He's like, brother, I want you on my team. So me and Dr. Mark Mao, he's no longer coaching for TRP. We were the first two chiropractors who started coaching with him. And then that's when TRP now has become, there are like 17 coaches, I think. And it's just amazing.
Yeah, and a special shout out to Dr. Steven, because I would like to thank him, for connecting me with you. He has been on the show at least once. I'm going to put the links in the show notes, everyone. And many of his coaches have also been on the show as well. So we'll add you to that roster, but really, massive influencer and gift to our profession. So thank you for that. So if you think about like a doc listening to this right now, and you've now gone through growth of a practice several times, right? From the beginning of your career to what you just did now and scaling it. Like, do you think things are different in how you would grow practice today versus what you did previously before the hurricane?
Yeah, the only different thing is that there's a lot of chiropractors that are exiting the profession. They're just like tired, burned out, hurt, died. So there's a lot of opportunity to acquire these practices.
Okay.
So the one I opened up, I started from scratch. So build out, everything from. So I think I wouldn't do that again. I will definitely be looking for acquisitions. And if I were to do it all over again, and I know what I know now, I would leverage other offices. I can totally have a business within another doctor's practice and not assume any of the risk, and be an amazing doctor, and have multiple offices and not even own one of them. Just
Right.
because
So are you talking about being like an independent contractor or an associate for someone else?
being an associate doctor. I
Yeah.
can be an associate doctor and still have a business within that practice, zero risk, and have
Yeah.
multiple offices that way. Because I know how to build teams. I know how to train teams, train doctors. In the TRP, I'm the mindset guy. So Steven is the systems guy. They call me the
Yeah.
mindset guy. So when they get stuck with limiting beliefs or something, it's like, all right, go talk to Sebastian. he's gonna he has a good eye for bullshit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think these are skill sets that we all need, but also when you recognize that you don't have to know it all, you just have to build a team around you that knows it all, and that also helps. So if I don't know, did I answer your question?
Yeah, you did. I mean, you're saying that if you were starting a practice now, and this series right now is focused on practice growth, right? So for whether you're a new practitioner or a seasoned practitioner, I'm curious about the conversations about growing doctors and growing practices so that more people can benefit from chiropractic. So if you're saying that times are different now, you would look at rather than investing necessarily in a brick and mortar business and the financing and the location, you would model it a little bit differently. I guess my question for you would be, if someone's listening to this, what kind of questions should they ask themselves to know what would be right for them? And I know you guys are big on clarity at the Remarkable Practice, but you're the mindset guy, so I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah. I think a very, very first question will be, do I want to own my own office or do I just want more money? Owning your own office comes with lots of brain damage. Are you wired for it?
Right.
Are you wired for it? Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
I think you've been the first one to actually honestly say that on this show, or actually just maybe honestly say that in general to me, in that owning your business and being an entrepreneur and being a CEO of your business is a lot to take on. And a lot of docs, they're not either built for that or they don't want it. They want to practice clinically. They want to educate, but maybe they don't have the mind or the business acumen or the time management to do it all. So I appreciate you saying that.
Melissa, this weekend I was at Sherman talking to students in the Remarkable Practice Club and the Communications Club. And I said this very same thing. And more than half of the room went like this. Oh my God, thank God. Are you telling me I don't have to own a business? That I can just go and adjust and be a great chiropractor and get well paid and just go in, adjust and leave, go to my house and be happy. Oh my God, thank you so much. Like all of a sudden this burden came out, right? So
I felt it. I felt it 15 years
you,
ago myself. So I appreciate that. Yeah.
So if you didn't feel that burden shed right when you heard it, and you actually got mad and you're like, man, that's bullshit. No, I'm not. Then great. See, that's you're most probably more wired to own your own business. Because here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Who wants to own your business? You or your dad for you or your mother for you? Are you trying to do that to demonstrate, to prove to someone that you're worth it? So, like, honestly, man, just watch out how you define success. Let no one define success for you. I remember there was this company that I was coaching with, and then I was coaching for them too. And it was like, if you don't see 1,000 a week, you're a shitty chiropractor. And I'm like, oh fuck, oh man, you're right, and I had this stress about, and I couldn't break 400. I'm sorry, I couldn't break 420. I was like, more than 420. It's like, oh, come on. Oh man, I suck. And then I'm like, wait, hold on. Whose goal is to see 1,000? Is it my goal? Because it's not my goal. I don't want to see 1,000 a week. Can I build a team that does that? Absolutely, but I certainly don't want. By the way, you're seeing 1,000 a week. I'm seeing 1,200 a week. Awesome. What's your collection visit average? $12. I'm like, come on, man. If I will be charging $12, I'll be seeing 4,000 a week. You're shitty, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Do not do that. That's not fair at all. So I'm very careful always not to project my own values into, either clients, students. Like it's like what it's in your heart. What does success look like to you right now? Because that changes.
Did it change for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I was like, success looked like when I was a student, success looked like to me to graduate and pass all the boards and not, flunk. Okay, that happened. Then what does success look like? Well, now success looks like to open up an office where my grandmother's house is. Well, okay, great. And I did that. Well, now what does success look like? Well, so as you go along, like it's like you have the lights in your car. You know, the lights in your car, and it's night, it's pitch black. The lights will only go so far in the road, yes? So the only way you can see what's ahead, further from the lights, is if you just have to keep moving forward. And as you move forward, the road is revealed. Same thing.
Yeah.
You don't have to know ultimately what God has for you. You just right now, maybe you're a student listening. It's like, you know what? Success right now for you is freaking go to all classes, pass the boards, get your license, but also get the street smarts, get street smarts, go seminars, go watch, listen to podcasts, go visit doctors, do your due diligence, learn chiropractic, because you don't learn chiropractic in school. You learn how to pass boards in school so you can get licensed and you can practice legally. That's what school is for.
Yes. It's making me think of something that I've often said to my kids and also with the coaching clients, but it's the idea of like failure is data. Like you need to be doing things, taking those steps to see what's next in front of you. And you won't know if you never try anything, right? And you can't, if you know what you want and you have that vision, I can tell you have this within you, then the how sometimes starts to show up if you just take the next step, right? And a lot of people get limited and they hold themselves back because of maybe what someone else told them, their upbringing, their culture, their finances, their like a lot of things. And I know that you guys have seen, you've probably seen this if you're coaching people too. So, when you think about the biggest gap you see with clients when they want to grow a practice and they're not feeling, they don't know what they want. Would you say that it comes down to they don't have clarity?
That's it.
Yeah.
They don't know what they want. That's the biggest gap. They don't know what they really want. They know how they want to feel.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to earn money and do nothing. I'm like, all right.
How's that work?
So it's kind of difficult when you have a generation that it's, they just want to do the least and earn the most, and they have zero tolerance for just rough patches. And everything is like, I have anxiety, I need to take a break. You have what? So a quick story. So I hired the doctor that's running the new office.
Yeah.
Before I decided to open up the office together, we went to eat, and I said to him, listen, man, I'm not easy to deal with. But I'm not that hard either. I speak loud, and you may feel that that I'm mad at you because I speak loud and I'm very intense. But no, it's just who I am. And but I'll tell you this. If one day you wake up and you just you have a headache and you don't feel like going to work, don't call me. I'm not gonna go in the office. I'm gonna say to you, too bad, I don't care, do what you gotta do. And you go to work. You're gonna tell me, Doug, this weekend I have a baptism and there's a spinal screening at the same time. And you know what I'm gonna tell you? I'm gonna tell you, tell them that you're gonna arrive late to the baptism. You're gonna one day wake up with a flu. Like everything will hurt. Like literally, you'll be like, oh. You're gonna call me and I'm gonna say, bro, get over it. You go work and do your job. Why? Because I know what it's like to go to adjust, feeling like shit, everything aching. And in 14 years, because the first time I had to not go to the office was when I hurt my back. I was out 2 weeks. But for 14 years before that passed, I only skipped 2 half days. And it was because I was vomiting and shitting at the same time. And, that's pretty
fair enough.
Difficult.
Yeah, you get your past.
You know what I'm saying? And I told him, that's the only thing I will say, okay, stay home. So just don't. are you sure you want to open up this office or you just want more money?
Mhm.
No, I want my own thing. It's like,
Yeah.
all right.
And something
Then
that we've
I shook hands, and that has worked because he's like, oh, I feel like shit, but I'm working. I'm like, yeah, good.
Well, yeah, and that was a big, we talked about this a little bit in the pre-chat. I mean, that was a big mission for me with starting this show, is because, you know, when I was back into practice after going through divorce, I had a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old, and I was trying to do it all, like we're all doing, because I was chasing someone else's definition of what it was going to be a successful chiropractor. And I remember having this clear as clarity one day in my practice, being like, I don't want to do any of this. I was stressed. I was struggling. I wasn't happy in anything I was doing. I'm like, I want to adjust people and be a great mom. And I want to talk to people about health and healing. And I also made a very pivotal shift in my business model. And I've never looked back. And those hard decisions, it's not easy. Those, if you want a life of more ease, it comes with making really difficult decisions at some point. But I was so thankful when I got to have conversations on this show that I've, intentionally had a wide variety of practitioners, because I want listeners to see, you want to have multiple practices? Yeah, here you can do it. Here's someone who's doing it. Go talk to them. If you want to do some research, if you want to speak, if you want to write a book, if you want to do locums, if you want to have a small practice, like anything is possible in chiropractic. And I think even, when I think back in the day when I first graduated, I mean, to be an associate was like, you're just starting, and your next step is going to be to have your own practice. And after a while, I was like, it's really great. And I love having my own business, but for a lot of docs, especially different stages of their family life, maybe they love the idea of going in and adjusting and leaving. And it's a beautiful setup. So I think there's been such a gift, and that stigma around that, whether you're having these conversations or they've been happening more the last 10 years for sure. But giving docs an appreciation of, you actually can build a kind of practice that relates to you, your values, what you want, and keep evolving with it within time. And it starts with asking yourself that question, what do you really want? And being honest with yourself. It sounds to me like you've always had a lot of passion for chiropractic. I mean, I'm only meeting you right now, but if you were to say, I get the sense from you, like it's a fiery thing in you. What has kept that fire lit for you over the years? Would you say it's been a certain mentors, podcasts, leaders that you've had, coaches, like friends, like your faith, like all of the above?
Yeah. Number one, definitely seminars. I'm a seminar junkie. I'm, New Beginnings, Lyceum, mission trips, DeMartini's Breakthrough Experience, Tony Robbins, Unleash the Power Within, and Day with Destiny, and I also did the Platinum program, and just like this constant hunger for growing and becoming a better version. How can I, lately has been, for me, it all came down after all these years. It all came down to knowing myself better so that I can communicate better. That was it. That was 100% bottom line it. So I can communicate better chiropractic, so I can communicate better my feelings, my emotions, so I can be vulnerable. I can be comfortable with vulnerability. So I can have tough conversations and fix team dynamics and help them get unstuck. And that's how eventually I became like the mindset guy, whatever. It's not like, but it's because I really want to know how I work, how I operate. Why is it that some things just happen so easily for me and then some things don't? And understanding the human dynamic and why we do what we do. And I love that because
Your
I think that
curiosity
helps me
knowing.
communicate better.
Yeah. So lots of seminars, working with different people who have coached you and helped you become who you are.
Yes, coaches, absolutely. I remember
Yeah.
I started 2001, my first coach I hired in 2004, 3 years too late. It cost me, I figured out, with the amount of difference in income that made as soon as I started implementing the systems,
Mhm.
I lost in the first 3 years of my practice just because I was an arrogant bastard that thought I knew it all and I don't need help from anyone because I know it and I know I don't need help. I know how to figure. I'm intelligent. It cost me more, a little over $262,000. I will have right now in my bank account $262,000 additional than what I have now, just because of that's what my arrogance cost me. So that's so yeah. But that was me. I don't know.
But so finding, my listeners here are a variety of practitioners, all different ages and stages. And I don't think there's one right way to grow practice. I think practices all need what you've talked about, which is a vision and heart. And this is why, we need to be continuously learning, sure, professionally, but we need to be learning about ourselves and embracing who we are. And that self-discovery and self-knowing, I think, is foundational. But I also think that there's lots of different ways that people will grow their practices. Some people thrive on doing videos. Some people are horrible at doing videos. Some people are really great at doing screening. Some people, it's not their thing. So, and I know you didn't want to do it, but you did it anyway. So there's a personality and a drive there that I think, we're all a little bit different, clearly. But if you were to say something sort of in your belief system, not generic, but like the ways that you would recommend someone here in 2025 looks at growing their chiropractic practice, what would be a couple of things you would encourage them to? We talked about acquiring a practice. We talked about getting clear on asking yourself what you want. So those are pretty big topics already. But is there anything else that's coming to mind now while we still have a bit of time?
Yeah, absolutely. So attraction is a reflection of your certainty. So if you don't want to have new patient problems, work on your certainty. So if attraction is a reflection of your certainty, conversions is a reflection of your conviction. So if you want to, you can only help those you convert, right? So, and if you don't convert them to chiropractic, you're converting them to medicine. Right. So, build your conviction, work on your conviction. So if attraction is a reflection of your certainty and conversion of your conviction, then retention is a reflection of your clarity, clarity, your team's clarity, and your patient's clarity around what? Around what exactly is your product. And your product is not adjustments. So that's basically attraction, which is lead generation, conversion, which is sales, and then retention, which is, customer building, customer relationship building, and those are the 3 gears that we teach on the Remarkable Practice. And wrapping those three is team building.
Yeah, I was going to say, you with running multiple practices now, what you just said earlier about your ability, learning about how to communicate effectively, you must have some insights about managing big teams or managing different people. Is there anything that you have found has been really valuable that you'd like to share around people manage? Because chiropractors aren't HR, right? We're here to be clinicians and communicators, right? And so many docs I know have struggled with either hiring and finding and attracting the right teams, or keeping them, or differences within their team members. So you must have some ideas and some wisdom around this.
Yeah, the team that you have right now is a reflection of how you've been showing up in life. So I think that's the best measure of how I'm doing in my life. It's my teams. So if my teams are doing well and I have a great relationship with all of them, and they're they're going through their stuff too, they all have their own shit, but they're showing up to the practice and to their life with tools that they're learning in my office. Okay, I'm doing well. If my teams are not doing well, I'm like, that's a reflection of me. So
there's a lot of ownership that you take about yourself. You're not blaming everyone else for not performing. You're looking at like, what am I doing to either create harmony or dysfunction?
Oh my God. I will tell you that you just said, I'll explain to you in the most simplest way. My patients all of a sudden were all canceling their appointments, moving their appointments. And every new patient's like, I can't come. And they were moving, they were not even calling. So I'm like super mad. I was about to go to my CA and just unleash. And then I asked a very important question. It's all right. What's the problem? Well, patients are moving their appointments. They're not coming. They're not calling. They're being disrespectful. And then it's like, okay, where am I doing the same? And I'm like, I'm not doing. I actually had a dentist appointment twice this week, and twice I have called to move it. And actually, one of them I didn't call. And I was doing the exact same thing in my life, right? So I'm like, okay, let me fix that in my life. Let me make sure I'm not doing that I'm seeing in my reality, in my life. I'm not doing it. Okay, I fixed it. And then as soon as I fixed it, it got fixed in the office and I never had to unleash on my team. That's how sensitive. When you're really playing this game and you know it's like how you show up matters, you start really choosing how you wake up, you start choosing how you go to bed, you start choosing who you hang out, you start choosing what you eat, what you don't eat, how much you drink. And I'm not saying you don't do those things, but I'm telling you, it matters. It matters. And I had certain rules about how I should show up in the morning. And if I always had patients on Friday mornings, but I love to hang out on Thursdays because that was in Puerto Rico. That's my favorite. It broke. That's my favorite day to hang out.
Yeah.
So I went out, but I water all night. You see what I'm saying? Or I can do 2 beers, or 1 beer, 2 glasses of wine. That's it. Because I needed to show up next day ready to serve. So it really does matter how you show up.
It's the idea of, this personal branding got such a hot topic the last few years, but it's like, are you building a brand or are you building a life? And if you're in healthcare, you're building a life that is there to inspire other people. And I think it's got to be congruent with what you want and how you're showing up. So I appreciate you saying all that. And it also brought me to my question for you was going to be like, how do you stay vital and healthy? Like, what are your best habits, the things that you love to do? You talked about morning rituals, you talked about prayer, you talked about alcohol. Like, what are the things that you're doing for you 24 years later to stay vital and healthy physically?
I learned how to fall in love with team training.
Okay.
Team training gives me the freedom that I have.
Okay.
Because if I train my team, then the team can execute on the things they have to do as I like them to do to produce the results that I need them to produce so that I can then enjoy the life that I enjoy. That's it. So fall in love with training your team.
So what you're saying is, yeah, they've given you a time off and time to live your life the way you want. But what are the kind of things that keep you the most grounded and healthy these days? What kind of habits are really, really important for you?
So
besides Thursday nights.
Yeah, I stopped exercising rigorously early in the morning.
Okay.
So more like yoga in the morning, which is like exercise, meditation, and
So
prayer
you're the
all at
mindset
the
guy
same
because you work
time.
on your mindset in the morning.
Yeah, like more like just start ease. That's if I didn't go surfing. So I go surf every day except Tuesdays. Very early in the morning. So by the time it's 8 a.m., I already surf 2 hours. And then at the afternoon, I go play some paddle tennis. But on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, those are the days that I have all my calls and all my meetings. And then Thursday is to do everything I wasn't able to do on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And then I go Friday to Monday. And then Friday to Monday, it's time with friends, time with family, marketing too, because I'm accountable for external marketing in the offices here in Puerto Rico. And I take it easy with the bread, because here in Puerto Rico bread is so good.
Yeah.
So I like to do 14-hour fasts, because 16 hours gave me a headache, and
Yeah.
I'm skinny, so I can't be doing those long fasts. So 14-hour fasts. My vitamin D tends to be low, so I need to take vitamin D, and B12 also, that tends to be low. I think those are the only 2 supplements right now that I need to take, just because I'm usually deficient on it. And what else I do? Well, my
You covered
morning
a lot. I
ritual.
mean, you've got time for your family and friends, things that light you up
Yeah.
socially, your connection. You've got time for your mindset. You've got time for movement and
Yep.
hobbies that bring you joy. I mean, it sounds pretty well-rounded to me. But also longevity, right? You've been in practice a long time. And I don't know, I've had 23 years for me, and I've had aches and pains and injuries and all kinds of stuff. But if I don't maintain my physical health, my vitality suffers too. So I love to ask docs that, because
Foundation training.
yeah.
Foundation training helps me a lot. After I play paddle tennis, like next day, yesterday I had every Monday I have my paddle tennis class. So Tuesday mornings I wake up, that's like, tomorrow I have another game. So Thursday when I wake up, I have to do it. And then everything just gets back online. Because I do have my L5 disc. Oh my God, I'm supposed to be I got hurt in 2014, like severe protrusion, severe extrusion, severe stenosis. I was supposed to get surgery. I'm like, give me 13 months. And then in 13 months, it got healed like 70%. So now, it's just, I get adjusted, keep the intestines, as good as possible. And I eat everything. I know my limitations. And yeah, man, relationships, just make sure that your relationships are good, and I'm not saying that, I've made bad decisions, but I know how to say I'm sorry, and recognize where I have done wrong. And if they choose to forgive me or not, then that's their problem. But at least, I know where I have, could have done better, and fix it. And yeah, relationships. Do you ever met Joe Felicia?
I have not.
He
No.
was very the short guy,
No,
the
I
guy.
don't.
So
I don't think I have.
It's the quick story about this guy, because he was huge DE guy, huge, not in stature, but like in personality and his message, hardcore. He was failing in practice until his granddaughter died without a brain. The brain got stuck. It didn't pop into the cranium vault. I'm like, is that a thing? Like that, can that happen?
Yeah.
So he's like showing everything, and I'm like, holy cow. And then he was this chiropractor. I'm like, couldn't believe it. His granddaughter was gonna die. And he felt so useless and so helpless. And he just didn't know what to do. Until he was like, wait, the only thing I know how to do is adjust. And let me check her and see if I can help. Check, found subluxation, adjusted subluxation. Woo! The brain just like, woo, just pops into the thing. Granddaughter gets saved. He turns around his life. He goes from 10 a week to 1,000 a week in like 2 months. Like, it's just ridiculous. And was there like for years. I mean, ultra successful chiropractor. Something like that. I don't know if it took 2 months or 3. I don't know the details, but it was like hardcore D, blah, blah, blah. He, along with Guy Rickman, created one of the first coaching companies. They had over 800 clients all over the world. the stories
Mm.
I will tell some other day. But this is where what I want to get to is this. Joe Felicia is on his deathbed, and there's a story. I don't know if it's true or not, but I took this story to heart. He has like 6 or 7 people around him. He dies, flatlines. So everybody's like praying, and saying goodbyes, whatever. And all of a sudden, boom, he gets back online. He wakes up. He goes like, "It's all about relationships. It's all about relationships." And then dies again. So I say it laughing because I don't know if it's true or not, but that story really changed my life.
Mm. Well, I think it's a great way for us to wrap this show today. I mean, I think relationships, the relationships that we have with our family, our others, like people that are meaningful to our life, this is the meaning that we're alive. It's not, yes, to have these beautiful impact, careers for other people, but what's it all worth if you're not fulfilled and feeling connected and loved in your own personal lives too? So I think that's a foundation for me, definitely what I've tried to create for myself, but also like relationship building in your practice with your teams is a foundation for growth. Because you can do all the great marketing, you can have great certainty, you can attract people all you want, but if you're not having the team and having the relationships and the experience in your practice, then they don't really always stay, right? So I think there's a lot to be said about relationships as a whole for practice growth and just for fulfilling lives. And we don't have time to get into that now because I want to respect your time. We've got to wrap this up. Thank you so much for making time for this conversation today. I admire your commitment to self-evolution, to curiosity, to staying healthy, to expansion, to just to learning, and the resilience that you share with us today on the show, from having a back injury to having the hurricane. Like, you've had your share of trials and challenges in practice, and you've thrived through them, right? Through your own lessons. And I appreciate you sharing some of that with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me and giving me another platform to share some of the things that I've been going through, that maybe someone who's listening can relate and feel inspired to take action and heal themselves and keep enjoying life.
Any final parting words for listeners if you were to give someone a piece of advice about becoming a chiropractor?
Yeah, the last thing that I had to remember was, you don't get success without failure. You don't get health without sickness. You don't get abundance without lack. So don't get stuck on these fantasies, because life is a dance, and just work on yourself and show up, with a great attitude, and
enjoy the different kinds of dancing.
You're being, there's grace. They're trying to help you. You just gotta sit down, allow them to take care of you. So
yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I will look forward to hearing and seeing more of what you're up to in the years to come.
Absolutely. Thank you, Marisa.